everyone, I'm Sarah with Fisher Price Ranch. First off, please don't forget to subscribe. So, we're waiting on Coconut Cream to have her babies. So in the meantime, I thought I'd give you guys her backstory. So Coconut Cream, when we first laid eyes on her, she was just a baby, a newborn. I saw pictures of her up at a farm in Washington, and I fell in love instantly, had to have her. So I had to wait 3 months before she was ready, and in the meantime I looked for transport because I don't travel that much, so it's hard for me to just run up and grab a goat whenever I see one. Um, so, oh, Zara's right here. She wants some attention. Good girl. So, anyway, she finally became 3 months old, so I ended up purchasing her and Rocky Road, which you guys know that we no longer own him. So, anyway, we found transport, which I've never done before, and so I hired a company to pick her up and Rocky Road and bring them all the way down here to Arizona. So, after they were picked up, I soon found out that this transport company was not very good, and they had a lot of complaints on them. And so I'm stressing out because the trip was taking way longer than they said it would. And goats on transport get stressed out, and so the quicker the transport is, the better off they are. And for these being babies, you want them, Washington's not that far. You can make the trip in about a day and a half straight through, so I assumed that the goats would be about 2 days. They ended up being almost 6 days, and I guess the trip was pretty bad. They ended up coming here really stressed out, and it actually stunted their growth for a long time. So I got lucky though, because I did find out later that this transport had many animals that had actually died on the trailer, and they would just toss them on the side of the road as they went. Luckily, they no longer transport animals. So I guess we were fortunate, but at the same time the goats did still suffer from that stress. So Coconut Cream, um, she looked like a baby even at a year old. But then suddenly, about a year and a half, she finally grew. I think she was around 75 pounds. And so I decided to go ahead and breed her because she was really close to the right size, and she was definitely old enough. So we bred her, and then about halfway through her pregnancy, she started to miscarry. And so she was really depressed all the time. We had to let her fully clean out and everything. And so anyway, we decided to wait, give her more time. Well, not long after her miscarriage, probably a couple months, um, she got out of the pen. And my old dog, who's always been great with animals, as he got older, he kind of started to lose it mentally. And anyway, he attacked her. And I didn't see it happen. I just happened to come out. She was in her pen. And so I was just doing my rounds, checking on everybody, and she didn't get up. And I thought that was really odd. And so when I went over to check on her, I saw blood everywhere. And so we had to rush her into the house. We shaved her down so I could see the damage. And she probably had about 3 dozen bite wounds all over the back end of her body. The top on her rear was tore open, where the top of where her udder would be was also tore open. The side of her leg, she had a big tear where the muscle was hanging out. So I had to stitch her up. And it was a long recovery. I think it took her about 3 months for a full recovery. But she was a fighting spirit. She pulled through pretty well. Um, so then after that, we decided, she had a full recovery. She was looking really good, healthy again. And so we decided to rebreed her at that point. So once she was bred, we waited, and three weeks later, she went back into heat, so she didn't take. So we tried again, and same thing, she just wouldn't take. So we decided to give her that winter off. So I waited all winter into the spring, and then we decided to breed her, which would be now last July, with the rest of the herd. She bred, and she didn't go back into heat. And so I was like, okay, great, she finally took. We're finally going to get babies. It's been a long time coming. And about 2 months later, she was in heat again. So she must have skipped 2 heats somewhere in there, but now she's in heat again. And so we decided there was something going on, and we didn't know what it was. So doing some research, talking to other goat breeders, we decided to treat her for ovarian cysts using Lutulase and Cisterellin. And so after that treatment, we waited. The treatment is you use the lute, and then 2 weeks later you use a Cisterellin, and then 4 days later you lute again, and then you're supposed to rebreed her when she goes into that heat. So we did that, and still nothing. She just wouldn't take. So I was kind of getting really discouraged. I was almost at my wit's end with it. I was ready to give up, and we decided to do one last thing, which was, when she did miscarry, maybe she didn't fully clean out, and infection could just be sitting in there killing off the eggs. And so we did a heavy treatment of, what did I use? I think LA200. And then a month later, we did the same thing again. And then her next heat was a couple weeks later, and so we bred her then, and now we're waiting on babies. So I'm really, really excited. Coconut has been through so much. Most Kiko breeders wouldn't do this. I normally don't do this. If I have trouble with something, I'll try a couple things, and then if it doesn't work, we just cull from the herd. And like we did with Brownie, we tried with her for a little while, but she didn't work out. We culled her, which was a good thing. We ended up finding she had something going on with her, and found mummified babies inside of her. And so, anyway, so I'm really excited. These are going to be out of our homegrown buck, Bazooka. I'm really hoping for a doe, because I would love to pass on her amazing spirit. And so anyway, hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of insight on her. I hope the pictures helped to share the story, but now we get to wait on babies. So we're still out here building. We're doing an add-on on the barn, and of course that's where Coconut has decided that she's going to have her babies. We did have, I was at work, and we had an unexpected delivery by Hopscotch. So we have 2 little girls. The one that's nursing is Holly, and the chocolate and red one is Aster. So we got 2 girls. They're going to stay on the farm. We're still waiting on Divinity. She's next to Kid. I'm not sure where she's at the moment. But Coconut Cream has a really nice udder for a first timer. We're really excited. Cannot wait to see what she gives us. Well, Coconut has left there and has gone out all the way. It's really hard to see because she's white, but she's by herself all the way way behind those rocks. All the way out there in the pasture. So I guess we're going to have to watch her from here until she's ready. There's little Primrose. Dippin' Dot's being such a good mama. Aren't you, girl? Well, it looks like she has decided that she's gonna have them out here on the pasture. She's over here laying down right behind Snickerdoodle. There she is. Hi, Coconut. Check it out, guys. We have a little boy and a little girl. Coconut is doing an amazing job.